Welcome back to OneStopTutorials.com. We're back again. My name's Ali Baba from Thailand. We got Flash in front of us. Let us get straight in. First thing we want to do is open up a new action script 3.0, and here is our Flash. Okay, now what I want to go through now is I want to go through some of the tools, and I want to show you some of the drawing tools to start with. Okay, we have other tools above it, the selection, the sub-selection, and 3D and transform, but we're going to get into these a bit later. I want to show you some drawing tools, and I'm going to show you how to use them first. Okay, now the first one we're going to use basically is the pencil tool and the line tool. Okay, now anytime you hover your mouse over any one of these tools, it'll come up with the name of the tool, plus it will also give you the shortcut to the right. So the pencil tool is actually Y shortcut on your keyboard, and the line is N on your keyboard. Okay, and you'll also notice that in some of these tools, just like Photoshop, you'll have a little arrow, which means that there's other tools inside of this selection here. So you can left click, hold down your left mouse button, and it will allow you different options. Okay, what I want is I want to grab myself the pencil tool. Now what I want to make you aware of is that down every time you select one of these tools or most of these tools, you actually have a context area underneath, whereas in Photoshop your stuff comes up the top here. In Flash down here you'll have your context area at the bottom. So every time you actually select a tool, you'll notice you have different options. With the pencil tool selected, the first option you have here is you have the object drawing. Now we'll get into that a bit later on, so for the time being just make sure that is actually unchecked. You'll know it's unchecked because when it's checked it turns like into a grey box. Okay, so just uncheck that one to start with. The next one down here is you have three options, and I'm not sure if you can see the bottom one, but the bottom one is called ink. Now what ink means is basically you can draw freehand. Okay, you can draw anything you want, as wild as you want, freehand. I'm just going to select the selection tool, highlight everything over it, and hit delete on my keyboard. The next thing we got here, if I select the pencil tool again, is you've got smooth. Okay, now what smooth does is if I draw a circle and you can see it's all really rigid and horrible, what it will do is it will try to smooth out the actual circle. Okay, getting used to these drawing tools is really handy because in Flash you're going to spend a lot of time actually drawing if you're trying to do animation and stuff like that. The next one we got up here, if you left click, hold your left mouse button down, is you've got straighten. And what this will do is when I draw a line freehand, it'll actually try to straighten out that line for me. Okay, I draw and it actually tries to straighten it out. Again, I'm going to grab my selection tool, highlight everything, hit delete. So that's what these options are. You have these three options here, but also inside of those three options you have some more options. Let me show you. If I choose ink and I just draw freehand, okay, and then I come up to grab my selection tool and make this whole line here into a selection, and you'll notice it becomes a selection because it's got these little dots everywhere. You can see that it's got these selection. Well, when I come down to my context area here, you'll notice I got two different options. Well, the first one is to smooth, so I can try to smooth out this line, and the second one is straighten. So with that line selected by using the selection tool, I can simply left click on where it says straighten on this box here, and what that will do is it'll eventually straighten out the line that I made. Okay, and this comes in really handy in when you start getting into some projects. Again, if I just quickly delete that one, grab myself my pencil tool and draw again. Okay, if you come in, select it with the selection tool. Remember the actual selection tool shortcut is V to save time, and I come to the smooth one. Do you know what a better example would be is if I actually drew a circle. Let me grab my pencil tool, draw a circle, I'm going to select it. Again, you notice it's selected because you've got these little pink dots everywhere, and I'm going to choose the smooth tool, and what this does is it'll try to keep smoothing it out. Okay, the more I click it, the more it will keep trying to smooth out this selection that I've selected, in our case this circle, and I can just go completely wild, and eventually it will end up into some sort of teardrop or eye, you know, a slanted eye or something, and just keep clicking, and there you go. You'll notice it's actually made it really smooth. So this is the options that I wanted to show you. In the line tool, if we grab the line tool basically does what it says. It draws a line. Okay, here is a line. Again, you know, you haven't got as many options down here, but what you do have here is a magnet. Let me show you what that does. Is if this is basically a snap option. If I was to draw a line, okay, you'll notice that I have a sort of circle at the end of the line, and what it wants to do is snap it to the edge. You can see there when I come to the edge there's a little circle. When I let go, that line will snap to the other line. If I hold down Control or Command on my keyboard and hit the letter Z, that will allow me to undo. Now if I take that snap option off, what that will do now is it'll basically won't snap to that edge. Before, when we came over this edge, that little circle came up which would allow me to snap to it. Now it won't. So it basically means I can actually go overboard compared to actually having the snap option on. When I come in, it snaps to that line. Again, this might not seem obvious on what this is doing, but trust me, when we get into some projects, having options like this with snap and things like that really does start to make your life a lot easier and really start to help you out. Snapping things can keep things in line, okay, and it's a great way of using it. You can then grab the selection tool, and again, as you grab the selection tool, you select everything on the actual stage. You have the option again of making it smooth or making it more straight, okay, depending on the actual selection that you made. So that's how you use the pencil tool, and it's going to come in really handy later on. We're going to be using it a lot. So that's the pencil tool, and that's the line tool used. In the next tutorial, I want to come in and I quickly want to show you the properties and how you can actually edit stuff, the line thickness and stuff like that. Take it easy, guys and girls. Catch you at the next one-stop tutorials. Any problems, please let me know. Subscribe to YouTube. Check out my website. I shall catch you guys and girls very, very soon. Take it easy, everyone.